right. It's another episode of the Brett Allan Show. Thanks for watching and listening and being a part of today's episode. We are talking to the super talented Avery Konrad about From, which is now streaming on EPIX. This, I tell you, is probably one of the best shows available right now. It's just so good. Avery, thanks for hanging out with us today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about this because EPIX, I love these folks because they are just now sort of starting to get into the streaming game with original content. How did this project come about for you? I mean, outside of, hey, I got an email from my agent. Do you want to check this out? Like, what was it that I always have to clarify that now because, I mean, that's if you hear the question, you're like, well, I got an email. Like, how did you find out about it in the sense of this was something that you wanted to do?
I mean, aside from getting the email, I was super intrigued by the storyline, and I was intrigued by the breakdown of Sarah and her character, and it was really kind of far-fetched, it seemed, just because it was so perfect. Almost, it seemed like too good to be true just to play a character that is so layered and also having some of the Lost team attached. And I'm a fan of that beforehand anyway. So that was super cool. So yeah, I did the audition and just kind of kept my fingers crossed, and I heard back a couple weeks later, did the screen test, and again, just kind of kept my fingers crossed. And I found out less than 24 hours later that I booked the role, which is crazy. I still am having a hard time kind of wrapping my head around it, which is so like funny to say because it's like out now. And yeah, so that's kind of, I mean, it really was a like picture perfect project in a way, just the writing and the team around it. So yeah, I'm super grateful and still pinching myself every day.
I mean, my God, the cast in this is just top notch along with yourself. It's so good. And the thing that interested me about it when I first started seeing this and hearing about it was from the folks from Lost, because that was such a great show. And when you have studios like that and showrunners and writers and all the people that do all the things, when they come to create something new, the first thought is like, okay, let's see what you got. But then when this product comes out and it's finally available to see, every time in my experiences, I'm blown away because the story is, it's like a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of horror, a little bit of fiction, kind of a lot of things rolled up into one. Mm-hmm. And every episode that you're a part of and that everyone else is a part of, just you knock it out of the park. So my hat's off to you on this for sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you mentioned something kind of interesting, and I kind of want to explore this a little bit, especially about this project From, is you said something to the effect of, even though you're doing it, you're filming it, and then it comes out, and it's a little bit hard to wrap your head around the fact that it's still out. What is that headspace like for you as a storyteller? Because I'm certain you probably were working on this for a long time. And then I don't know if you guys dealt with any of the COVID stuff or the pandemic or anything like that. So kind of having to slow down a little bit. But how does it feel to have a project out once you're done creating it? It has to feel really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's an amazing feeling. It's a very new feeling for me just because I feel like that was my life. Like we all lived and breathed the show for so long. And it wasn't even that long ago that we wrapped. So to have it be out and having it be well received is very fulfilling. With that being said, because Sarah's such a wild card and from the actor perspective, I never approached her how she's received, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So how the audience receives Sarah is very different than how I had to approach it in my head. And kind of navigating that and letting that go has been interesting, just because I love her so much. And yeah, so that's been a new learning experience for me, and I feel like I'm kind of finding my way with that. But that's definitely been something that, you know, you don't really think about when you get it and when you're making it, and just kind of letting her go as a metaphor.
Sure.
Has been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you do such a great job. And again, I just love the show. It's been fun watching other outlets cover this project, and it's just so unique and different. I find myself rewatching certain episodes because every time I do, I find and I miss something and go, okay, this is not necessarily a procedural project where you really do need to follow this from start to finish to kind of get all of it. It's shot so well and so beautifully. The music is gorgeous. I feel like I'm watching a feature film when I see this. So great job. You just killed it. It's just a lot of fun. And I really hope people get a chance to watch this and enjoy it, because it's definitely worth the price of admission, I would say, for sure, because it's just so good. You've done so many great projects and been a part of so many things. I'm very curious to hear your journey. What was it that interested you, Avery, in becoming a storyteller? What made you decide this was something that you wanted to pursue?
I think subconsciously, when I was younger, storytelling was something that was very liberating for me. Um, I am dyslexic, so learning the same, I don't learn the same way as other people. And
Sure.
most people, I mean, there are tons of people who are dyslexic and don't know it. And I had the privilege of being able to um, grow up. And I was homeschooled, so I had the privilege of growing up and being able to be taught in a different way that sort of made sense to me. But with that being said, I did struggle, and I found that storytelling was very freeing for me. And I love that all ways of thinking are celebrated and encouraged, and there's never a right or wrong answer. It's just kind of how you approach something, which is what I love about
Sure.
the art so much, and just sort of how people fit into the equation. And I think that has sort of carried me through to where I am today. I also just get this overwhelming feeling of this is kind of, yeah, this is, I love it so much, and it really does fuel me and push me and challenges me every day. And yeah, that's something that's been prominent since I was a kid.
Yeah, well, again, just to have such a life and to be a storyteller and an actor, I find what you do, and I feel like I say this a lot. It's just so fascinating because you get to create these worlds and you get to create these experiences for people to enjoy that have all been very well received. I mean, again, this amongst all the other projects. And it's fun to just hear sort of your journey and what kind of brought you to where you are. This is great. I want people to see this. It's a lot of fun. Again, from the folks that brought us Lost. It is available to stream on EPIX. Please be sure to watch this. You don't want to miss it. It's a lot of fun, and EPIX is free, so there's literally no excuse to check it out. We've been chatting with Avery Konrad, who stars in this fantastic project. Avery, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.